Hey everyone, Mr. Caffeine here, and GTA 5 1.16 has arrived, and it is going to be, well, it is the Flight School DLC. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to Flight School. You can find this as a little aeroplane on your map on GTA down by next to Los Santos International. So the first thing that you have to do, there's a bunch of challenges just like it was in single player, is do an outside loop, which basically an outside loop is a forward roll. So most of this is done with your sticks, but to do a forward outside loop, basically you just push your left stick forward and do a forward roll. So he'll tell you to do a forward roll, and then you just press down on the left stick, and then you'll do a forward roll, and then basically in a couple of minutes more he'll ask you to do another forward roll under a bridge. Now the best thing to do for this is just do your roll and then just head in an exact straight line, because if you deviate left or right, there's a big massive crane which you might crash into, as you'll see me get pretty close. So you see I turned left and then right, which was a mistake, but if you get back on track and then when you do the inside loop when he tells you, just kiss that crane there, but once you do it, that is it completed. And the amount of money you get from these is insane. I think probably at the end you get about 100,000, so if you're short on buying that plane that you wanted, that's it. And you're passing gold, silver or bronze, so that was a gold. The second mission that you'll get, you have to fly the new jet. This is the new 16 people jet, but you're going to have an engine failure, and the challenge is to get as close to the finishing line on the runway, on the army runway, as you can. Now your engines will just stall, so it's better just to glide low and then in, and then the trick is you've got to try and land as close as you can to the finishing line. Now the only trick I can probably recommend for this is once you've landed, give yourself enough room, but once you've landed, if you push forward on the stick, it'll kind of push the front wheel down a bit and slow you down if you've really coming in too fast. Now I came in, where I'm coming in now is probably pretty close. I think I ended up about 16 meters away, so you want to be on the runway just backwards of where I am. So you can see I landed here, and then I start pushing forward on the stick. You'll hear it because the wheels kind of skid, and that gives me 16 meters away. So if you land just before where I was, you should be able to get a really good score. The good thing about this is, surprisingly I didn't realise this the first time, is there's an ambulance and a fire engine following you down the runway for when you do come to a halt. So you can see that was the finish line. I was only 16 meters away, so not that bad. It was pretty close, but I would definitely do the flight school because it is a lot of fun. The next one is you've got to jump out of a plane and then catch your parachute, and that is the brand new flight suit you can buy with your team logo on the back. So basically you have to jump out of the plane and then chase your parachute, which is obviously hard because sometimes you can go straight towards it, but sometimes you go too low or too high and you have to fly yourself around like without a wingsuit and try and catch it. So you can see your parachute all the time, and then the skill is just to catch it, and then once you've caught it, it's just normal. You've got to land within a circle like a dartboard to get the score. So obviously the closer you are to it at the end, so you want to be pressing the two right buttons on your Xbox to slow you down so you can come into an exact landing. And obviously it's rated in gold, silver, or bronze again. So these are just some little helpful hints and tips. I'll let the video finish on so you can do it, but what do you think about 1.16 if you've downloaded already? I mean, we got the new cars, we got the new planes. I thought we would get some new actions, but we didn't, which was a bit of a shame. No new guns, and I haven't found anything secret or hidden on the map yet, and I pretty much drove most of it. But if you find anything, I mean, put in the comment section below and we'll go and have a look, and if it's something to show everybody, it'll be cool. But there is a lot of new missions, versus missions and jets. So you can see there's the circle you got to land on, so you just press the top two buttons on your joypad, if you want to call it a joypad, to slow yourself down to make sure you land right in the middle. And once you've done that, that is that bit complete. So it is a lot of fun. I mean, you can't do it with your friends, you have to do it kind of solo like you did in single player, but it's good. And then if you pass, the next one is you've got to land a Titan, or you're told to land a Titan on the runway in really bad weather, and the lightning and thunder looks really cool on this one. But as always, something is going to go wrong, and then we will have to make a ditch attempt on the beach. So this is this one. Soon you will see that my engine will blow up or fail. I think lightning strikes you or something, but either way you get an engine fail, which is, there you go, it's just failed. And then you have to make a ditch attempt and land on the beach. But again, like the one with the jet, you've got to land in a specific place, so you've got to try and get as close to the mark as you possibly can, which makes it that little bit harder because you've got to fly right over the Ferris wheel, which is strange because there's actually a checkpoint there. But the graphics and stuff when you're doing this and the sound is absolutely brilliant. So you might not be able to hear some of it, you might be able to hear some over my voice, but either way it's a lot of fun. And the money you get for these is crazy. It's like nearly anything between 10 and 30,000 for completing a single mission. But this is it. This is coming to land on the beach. It's probably not the best landing in the world, but it did actually pass. So I was quite surprised myself. We have got other videos coming out. This is just the base of what the key new stuff is to show you, and then we'll get into the extra little bits that we found. So he says at the end he won't fly with you, but you actually did alright. So it is a pass. The next mission that you will do is in the new helicopter. This is a good way to try out all the new vehicles if you haven't got the 1.7 million to buy them all. But it's to land on the back of a trailer, and it's basically just get yourself to the right speed of the trailer and then just press decelerate and slow down. And it's that easy. You can just land on the trailer, get your gold and get loads of money, and then that mission is passed. Now the more it goes on, the harder and harder it seems to get. Now this one is your formation flight, as you can probably hear in the background. You've got to fly alongside 4 jets in a formation. Now if they just went in a nice straight line in a few little turns, it would probably be quite easy, but the object is to stay in that green ring. Stay in it. As long as it's green, you're getting points. So what they'll do is they'll turn right, which you can use the top right button on your controller just to turn the back wing, so you kind of yaw right instead. But then they get into doing some flips and stuff, which is quite cool to do. But at first they kind of just get you into it, so it changes from a 4 across to a 4 in line. Then we'll start doing some turns and stuff. But basically just stay in that green line and try not to do any huge massive movements, and you'll be fine. So you can see they started to go off to the right. I did a proper right turn and it didn't really work out well. So for this you can just use the top right button on your controller and it'll turn you enough so you can do it. But the guide tells you what's going to happen in advance, so it's not that bad. But it does get a little bit harder as things go. So you can see that the formation keeps changing, but you basically just got to stay within that green line, green circle, and you'll get your points. Now what we'll do is we'll split this into 2, because it's actually, the next one is quite a long one, and then the few after that are quite long as well. But I'll show you the rest just so you can see what happens. But you know, go and try it. Even if you only try it once, it's still a lot of fun, and it's a lot of money, especially you'll need it for them new planes and stuff now. But please hit the like button and subscribe for more.